In a world full of video games nerds.
Yeah, I can't hear any of that.
Yeah, that's right. You got me. You got Miguel. Can't hear shit. But you heard it. I'm sure you heard it. People watching, maybe watching live. I don't know.
Someone who's watching.
Welcome to Neon Pocket Dimension, a place outside of your normal dimension where being nerdy is fine and celebrated, loved even. You know what I mean? I'm Jacob. That's my name. I'm here with Miguel. Say hi.
Hi.
We also
I'm
got
Miguel.
That's Miguel, aka Boxcar Miguel on Twitter with an underscore at the end. I should get like a little pop up that has our Twitters. I'll work on that. Also got Luke Shot First, aka Gage. Say what's up, man.
AKA Tits McGee.
Hey.
No, wait. Never mind.
Tits McGee, huh? I'll start calling you that from now on.
Yeah, we're gonna call you Tits McGee. No, wait.
Start calling him Tits. Hey, Tits.
Hey, and I'm
Yo,
Tits McGee.
Tits. Excuse me. I'm already calling you the Zaddy Supreme if you don't remember.
Oh, I do remember that.
If you don't recall.
Oh, wait. Can I get something real fast? 2
Oh,
seconds.
yeah.
2 seconds.
Yeah. Go ahead and get something. Anyway, yeah, it's Neon Pocket Dimension. We talk about nerdy shit. You know what I mean? That's what you're here for. To get as fucking nerdy as possible. Miguel, Gage just left, all right? So I need to hear.
There we are.
Is it
better.
DILF? I don't know about that, Gage.
But it does say, but then if you look closer, it says, dude, I love Fernet, which is awesome.
Oh, okay.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
Miguel,
So there we are.
I need to hear what's the grossest liquor, like sugary liquor that you can think of off the top of your head. What's your least favorite syrupy liquor?
Syrupy liquor.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know, dude. Off the top of my head, I don't know.
Yeah. No? Oh, for me, it's Rumplemints.
Rumplemints. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah. Candy cane death. I mean, I could say Jaeger, but I don't know. I guess there's a little
Jaeger's not
nostalgia
sugary,
there.
though.
Yeah, it's just thick. You know what I mean? Like, oh.
Yeah. Especially if it's really cold.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of. I like some amaretto drinks, but I really don't like Disaronno by itself.
Oh, okay. Like that commercial? Remember the commercial where they just pour it over the rocks?
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
The just pure amaretto taste is just like way too much. It's like drinking Torani syrup or something. It's like
Ugh, God.
I think that blue curacao stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It's gross.
That's
it's
something.
useful. It's useful in cocktail making, but yeah, again, I don't, you know.
Who takes like a shot of like a cocktail mixer? You know what I mean? Even if it has liquor content, alcoholic content.
That's something to do when you're like a kid and you're raiding your uncle's liquor cabinet or whatever. You're like, what's this? Well, it's liquor, whatever. Let's do it.
I'm gonna get drunk off this vermouth. Woo!
Off this blueberry schnapps. Well, actually, they used to get drunk off vermouth a lot back in like France, I think.
Oh God, you guys are. I'm hating this. I'm hating all of this right now.
Right.
If I get a martini, hold the vermouth, please. I don't know what it is, but vermouth is fucking disgusting to me. I don't know why. I'll have it dirty as fuck. Just put olive juice, whole bunch of olives, and just all vodka.
Yeah, I'm a big like dirty martini guy. Like lots of olive brine. Although an original martini recipe doesn't actually call for olive brine whatsoever.
No,
that's all right.
That's why I don't drink martinis.
Feel it.
Yep. Feel it. Feel the vibrations.
I'm a big martini guy, so I actually don't feel it. I'm all about it.
Oh,
yeah.
So you don't? Oh, is that what the awkward silence was? You were like, you cut me deep. You cut me deep, Jacob. Well, I just don't like cocktails typically. You know what I mean? If I'm gonna drink liquor of any form, I just want it like neat or on the rocks. You know, like whiskey. Give me scotch. You know what I mean?
Sure.
What do you think, Miguel? You got any thoughts on
Yeah,
that?
I'm okay with that.
Cool with that?
But I feel like as long as there's not too many mixers, it's fine. A nice gin and tonic.
Well, yeah.
Tequila soda.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. For sure. Like, yeah,
The
like
less mixers, the better, I think, personally. But it's just me.
I do like an old fashioned, but the thing is, like, if I have a cocktail, it's a one drink endeavor, and then I'm switching immediately to something else.
Something straight.
Yeah. That's just me.
I do feel like you can lube your palate up with an old fashioned and then just go into drinking straight whiskey for the rest of the night. It's pretty good. Like, or for me, whiskey on the rocks is always how I do it. But
hell yeah. Now, see, I'm cool with that, but like, I just feel like there's people out there that just drink a ton of like, oh my god, you know what I mean? Cocktails.
Mochi, it's not an old lady drink. She says in the chat, I love a dirty martini, but my coworker calls it an old lady drink. I don't know.
That's
I mean,
bullshit.
yeah, I guess old ladies drink them, but nowadays it's like, everyone's going for it. People love cocktails.
I feel like old ladies drink wine.
Not all of them. Some dirty old ladies out there.
We don't need to hear about those ladies. You know what they're drinking, dude? They're drinking shit like what's that cinnamon one? Fireball. They're drinking that twisted tea liquor.
Oh, you're talking about the MILFs right now, or all the cougars?
Oh yeah, the cougars, dude.
Yeah.
Blue martini.
The yachis at the Vegas pool parties.
Give younger kids, right? So they can take them home.
Oh yeah. They're like, here, have this iced tea. It's from Long Island.
Have this Four Loko.
Exactly.
Okay, now you piqued my interest.
You remember OG? You remember OG Four Lokos that made you have heart palpitations and go insane?
Absolutely do. I absolutely do. No. I'm not saying Fireball is. Wait, Fireball isn't for old people. Well, at least the old people in my life, they're like, is there Fireball? That's just how it is, at least in Vegas. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I know a lot of old people like Fireball. That's all they'll drink.
So here's the thing, right? Neon Pocket Dimension. We can get nerdy about anything. We just got nerdy about mixers. We got nerdy about drinking. You know what I mean? No topic is off the table except for politics, typically. Should we do a political episode one day, though?
Yeah, I think we should. Just one day we'll dip our toes in.
You know what I mean?
We could keep it political based around like things we care about, or just make it political. But.
Well, I don't know. I mean, that's something you can nerd out on. You can nerd out on politics. But we're not doing that this episode. You know what I mean? Maybe in the future. I don't know. Oh, that reminds me. We never went over the voting results of our freaking elections, dude. We have those. We have those in. So let's plan on doing that next week. We'll go over them. We'll kind of make it fun.
How was the turnout? Was it good?
I think it was decent enough.
I mean, voter turnout's never what you want it to be. Let's put it that.
So true. Very true, but I was a little surprised as to how much participation we had there. So I think it'll be fun, and if there are any ties, because I think there might be one or two, then we can kind of suss it out with the chat or something. So Fireball was the drink in college. I hate it. Pizza Man Sam says, "Yep, fucking hate that shit." Just like for me in the college ages, it was Jaeger bombs, and that's why I can't do it. I cannot do it anymore. Okay, let's get into the Wibe New. What's the Wibe New, Gage?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. That's me. For me, it is the what you've been nerding out on. It's patented, so don't you fucking do anything about it. Anyone else?
Yeah, it's definitely trademarked.
It is.
Yeah.
Gonna get that Wibe New shirt.
No one else can talk about what they've been playing. Well, at least, and they can't phrase it that way.
Well, they can't say what you've been nerding out on, because no one says that but us.
There it is.
And that's literally what it stands for. So.
Yep.
And then remember, before we jump into that, if you are watching this later on YouTube, which you could do by going to youtube.com/@Odd Valley Studios. That's right. We have a cool URL now. Celebration. Let's go. It's awesome. If you go there, you can see all our episodes. But if you are watching this later, go in the comments below. Let us know what you've been nerding out on this past week. Go ahead, Gage.
What was I going to say? I don't remember. Oh, yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you.
No, it's all good. Yeah, we always want to... I encourage more people to go in and give some comments. Tell us what you've been playing, what you've been watching, because we always like recommendations, and typically cool people listen to our stuff. So,
hell yeah.
Send it our way.
Do it.
Exactly.
Gage, are you gonna let us know what you've been nerding out on, or?
I will do just that. I'm excited about my Wibe do this week because it's kind of unique. Well, The Last of Us isn't unique, but the other part of it is unique. So last week we had Eric, aka Arkwing24 from X to Interact podcast as a guest for part of our show, and we talked all things JRPGs on that show.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys talked of Chrono Trigger so much that I have now gotten full head over heels into that RPG. I'm so excited.
Ooh, hell yeah!
Good job.
So I downloaded the mobile version of it,
Oh, cool.
but it's so far it's great. I've been using my Xbox controller, and I have the little like, the case for your phone that like straps into the Xbox controller.
Nice.
And the mobile version is really good. Like I think it was like $7 on the App Store.
That's cheap.
And yeah, totally. And it's kind of cool because you can like open your menu with touch controls and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I'm fully using a controller, but then just like for little like handy dandy things like that, you can, yeah,
Mhm.
it's good. And so far I'm absolutely loving it. It's like it's got tons of charm. The art style is awesome. I didn't even realize that was the art style. I think I was always looking at Secret of Mana when I was thinking Chrono Trigger.
Oh, I see. Makes sense.
So I didn't realize what the art style was at all, and I really like it. Anyways, so far it's great. The music's awesome. Combat system's really awesome. It's got 2 options. I don't know if this was always the case, but there's an active combat and a like more turn-based combat.
Yep. Right. That was.
And so that's cool because if I'm like,
on, I think, correct?
Yep, that's how it's always been. Yeah.
Cool. Because I like that a lot because then if I'm like in bed and I'm like not really trying to like, like have to pay too much attention or something,
Yeah.
or if I'm like playing it on the couch while Aishu's watching TV or something, like I can just have it on turn-based and like not freak out so much. Or I can like, if I'm feeling like I want to be a little more engaged and I want something that's not like just reading a bunch of text, then I can put on the active combat. So anyways, it's a really good game, and yeah, I'm loving it. So I'm really stoked on that.
Yeah, Akira Toriyama, man. Same guy, Dragon Ball as well as Dragon Quest artist.
Yeah, totally.
So yeah, I'm glad.
It's
go ahead. Sorry.
No, it's all good. It's really good art, and so far like the monsters are really cool, and it's obviously it's an old school game, so there's a bit of that, but like so far I think the pixel art really holds up, and it's kind of it's scratching an itch I didn't even know I had.
Yeah, well, I'm really glad you're enjoying it. Also, don't forget Yasunori Mitsuda, one of the best fucking video game composers of all time.
Composers. Hell yeah.
Besides, Nobuo Uematsu, like some of my favorite Japanese game composers. He did the soundtrack to this. Fucking amazing. It's one of my favorite soundtracks ever. Have you done any time travel stuff yet?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've gotten a decent amount in.
Cool.
I don't know exactly where I'm at. Like, I don't know if there's like a good like kind of chapter thing or anything like that. But I've definitely put in like, I don't know.
I'll ask you
7 or 8 hours.
I'll ask you one question. Do you know who Frog is?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, cool. That's it.
Yeah,
that's all I got.
I love. And a great character all the way through.
Frog is one of my favorite characters ever, dude. He's so fucking cool.
He's so cool, and I always want him in my party. I'm like, let's just
Oh yeah. Like one of the cool things about that game is just like the combination techniques or whatever. When you like with them, they have that cross slash thing where they like both slice like an X. Pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, like leaves a little like X tracer on the screen. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I have the other chick is like kind of the ranged character.
Mm-hmm.
What's her? I forget what her name is. She's like the person who has the exhibition at the like state fair that you start at.
Oh yeah, the princess chick, the blonde one.
No, not her. The one that actually like makes the teleporter, and then she like comes in after you to. I forget what her name is. It's like it's not Layla, but it's like something like that.
Yeah, it's the chick with the glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I don't know her name.
I can't remember all the names. I just remember Frog and Magus.
Frog's the best for sure. So,
Frog is the best.
there's still a few of the thing like little old school things. Like occasionally I'm like, where do I go? And I have to kind of walk around aimlessly for a little while until I that there's not really like a objective or anything. So sometimes it's a little like unclear. So there's a little bit of that gets a little annoying. But for the most part, like it's been great and it totally holds up.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I'm glad you're enjoying it again. One of the best JRPGs ever. Hell yeah, that's cool.
I hope you finish it because I did not.
Oh, really?
I mean,
I got to the very, very end and I never finished it.
Got to beat Lavos, man.
Yeah.
Save the universe.
Just
you
like
go.
Final Fantasy VIII. Never finished that one either.
Me either. I got pretty far.
I got to the end of that one too.
That's the thing with these RPGs sometimes, right? Like,
Well, the thing with those, I felt like the boss fights were a little hard, and I don't know if
yeah,
I didn't grind enough
yeah,
or what the deal was.
Possibly.
I just kind of gave up, and time went by, and I'm like, oh, I'll do this later. I got frustrated. I just, when you leave something for long enough, you just don't want to do it over again.
right. You'd have to
Totally.
start over. What are you gonna do? Jump right back in at the end of the game where you're supposed to be dialed in and know what you're doing, and you're like, I
Yeah.
don't fuck remember anything.
How the fuck do I play this again?
Dude, that's me with Sekiro. I got to the last
no.
boss. I got to the last boss, died like 20 times, and I was like, all right, I'm switching games. I'll come right back. Never beat him.
Oh no!
Yeah. But also,
that's the worst.
That fight looks hard. That I've seen people do the Sekiro fight, and it's like, ooh.
it's very hard, and it's something I know I could pull off, but like when I played the game is on Xbox One at 30 FPS. Now it's 60 FPS on that Series X, so probably be a lot easier to parry if I get more frames. Shout outs to my PC homies out there who knows what I'm talking about with the frames. You know what I mean?
Who knows about them frames?
You know about them frames and how you can react even faster.
Yeah. And then to finish off my wine mood, I just do the weekly Last of Us check-in because I'm just all about it. I was kind of one of those skeptics that's like, a video game story that's already good could just remain as a video game story. But I'm really enjoying the series, and I think they've really nailed it in the way that they're like, we're gonna keep like the vibes, the music, we're gonna get a really good cast. The cinematography is gonna be like oftentimes like shot for shot with the games. But we're just gonna change things that like make more sense for television narratives or film narratives than game stuff. Like
Yeah.
like the not having spores. Like some people initially were like, "What?" But you're like, you think about it, and you're like, the only reason they had that is so that you could have like stealth, like creepy parts with a gas mask on and feel like,
Wait, so there isn't spores at all?
No,
I just felt like
because if you were to think about it, like everyone would be infected if there was spores. Like wind just takes those everywhere, and the entire world would just automatically be infected. There'd be no QZ,
Really funny thing about that quickly is I was telling Joy about that. I was like, oh, when they were going to that building and see in episode 2, no spoilers about what happens or nothing. I'm just very basic comment is going into a building. I was like, oh, they're gonna put on gas masks. Watch, and they didn't, and I was like, oh, this is weird.
Yeah,
Maybe there's just no spores in here, and that's what I was saying to Emoji Squeeze. And okay, they took it out. Interesting.
Yeah, it's not really a spoiler that there's no spoilers because they talked about it in like press stuff or whatever. But
oh, okay, I missed that. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it's a smart decision. I think it's fine to not have to have your Pedro Pascal was probably in the Mandalorian. Like, I'm not putting another mask on my face while I act. So, but
God damn it, man! Right as I took a sip, you said that.
So
Spit my beer all over.
says, without spoiling it, did you guys think the ending was hot?
Yeah, it was real hot.
Fucking
I
hot.
mean, well, technically, yes.
Yes, it was very hot.
Hashtag literally.
But it was odd. It was that was kind of maybe an odd thing, but I thought it was cool. Still, I thought it was weird and cool.
I was into it.
I was into it too. I enjoyed it quite a bit, actually.
I mean,
I like, again, no spoilers, but just very vague. Like, I liked how she was just kind of like so like taken aback and just like so concentrated on that one action she was trying to do that it was just kind of like, oh, this is happening, and it, and then it all goes.
And then it happened.
Oh, it happened.
That was just kind of like, yeah.
Oh yeah.
That just happened.
Give me more. Give me more, Zaddy.
I want more of that.
Give me. Put those mushrooms somewhere. You know what I mean?
Somewhere, yeah.
Put them somewhere.
So
watch a show.
I'm up for more Last of Us, and I think next week's episode is probably gonna be pretty cool with all the,
Mm-hmm.
I'm upset with myself that I watched the preview for the next episode.
Oh no.
Personally, I don't like watching those, and I just kind of ended up just kind of went into it, and I was like, "Fuck, I shouldn't have watched it." But yeah, no, I overall, I'm very I'm pleased with the show, and I feel like They've even gotten Polly Pocket to watch it, and she
Oh, nice.
as well is entertained by it. So
Cool.
I assume we will be watching it weekly.
Mochi Squeeze is enjoying it too, from what I understand. She'll tell us in the chat. Good times.
Nice. And yeah, pretty soon there's going to be a whole bunch of DeviantArt or Rule 34, stuff about that sweet mushroom tongues,
I mean, unless that didn't already exist, right?
There's a ton of there's already enough Rule 34 for The Last of Us out there. You know what I mean?
I'm sure. Oh, God.
But we're always gonna get more. It'll never stop.
I can
Well, okay. Do you guys actually know what Rule 34 is? Like what the actual wording of it is? It's one of the rules of the internet. Do you guys know about Rule 34?
Yeah, it's anything that exists there's porn of it. Is that?
Yeah, basically, whatever exists in the world, there's porn of it, no exceptions. Something like that.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. There's even a hentai drawing of Walmart fucking Target. So just imagine that.
That seems accurate.
Yep. And
yeah, that seems accurate.
Yeah. Mochi Squeeze says yes. I'm really enjoying it. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I just would say I enjoy going to Target far more than going to Walmart, but that's okay.
Yeah, but I feel like if anyone was going to get fucked, it'd probably be Target, only because Target tries to act like it's nice and fancy and a decent person, and Walmart's just a dirty motherfucker.
Yeah.
True. Much like that one cloud, the Target symbol's kind of shaped like a vagina, though. You know what I mean? So just think about that.
If you want to look at it that way, sure.
Maybe more like a big old bingus, like a big old beehive,
like a bing bong.
That's the obvious way of looking at it. Yeah, there's a big old hole.
I mean, isn't there?
You're not wrong.
Miguel, what you been nerding out on, man? This past week.
Last of Us.
Hell
obviously. Yeah! I did watch that. I did enjoy it. Last night we watched a Liam Neeson movie called Memory.
Oh.
On Amazon.
Memory.
And it was kind of like the other movies that he's been kind of doing recently, like the Taken movies type stuff. And, Cold Pursuit, and, people are after him, he's killing them. I mean, it's the only role he does now.
Yeah.
But, this one was a little different, I will say. There were things that didn't all focus on him, which I thought was good. And then it was, not to spoil it because it's called Memory, but he's an assassin who has all like dementia.
Oh shit!
So he's like forgetting shit at the same time. So it was
okay. It
was worth a watch.
It's a uniquely old guy story.
Yes.
It's perfect.
And stuff happens, and I was like, oh, I didn't see that coming. Because you figure Liam Neeson's the star, but
Yeah.
But Polly Pocket did think it was a little slow. It did drag on for a little bit, but overall it was good.
Nice.
I do highly recommend it, just for shits and giggles if you have time.
Shits and giggles.
Then I finished Andor, which was very, very good. I really did enjoy it.
Yeah.
That last episode was really good. It sets up for the next season, obviously.
Yes.
I'm not sure how many seasons they're going to be doing. Gage might know, but
I think just 2, because I think the idea is that 2 is going to end pretty much right at the scene where Rogue One starts. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. And that's what that's what I had heard. I wasn't sure if it was more than 2 or not.
Yeah.
So, but super cool. I want more of that. I like just regular like Star Wars stories that have nothing to do with anybody.
Yeah.
Going forward though, but Andor has been. They did a very good job with it. And if you have not seen it, you need to watch it.
Wholeheartedly agree.
Go for it.
Wholeheartedly agree. Is all I have to say.
Yeah. Did you watch it?
We watched it. We watched the whole season. Yeah. Loved it.
Yeah.
Fucking great.
Fucking amazing.
And then, what's his name? The guy from, Schmeagol or whatever. Andy Serkis. I loved Andy Serkis in this fucking show. He
did a really good job in the
Jesus
show.
Christ. Like,
there's so many, like, in the last, 3 episodes, there's so many soliloquies that you're just like, damn, that's really good writing. Come on.
Yeah.
Good way to go, Star Wars.
My God, yes.
Like, his mom's speech in the last episode. Who's the guy who runs the art shop who's, like, in the Double Life?
I forget his name, but...
I don't remember his name. They call him Access, though.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But his speech to the guy, like when he's like, "What have you sacrificed?" That shit.
Oh, that was so good.
Fuck
yeah, that was like some real cool shit right there. And
best speech
yeah,
of the whole thing.
and then Andy
iconic.
Serkis is in the break,
Yeah.
And yeah, good. Just good. All I need is good writing, and then just with a set dressing of Star Wars.
Take notes.
Make it. Yeah.
No, 100%. I agree. I hope we get more of that going forward.
Yeah.
And then I played a little bit more Deathloop, which is fun.
Ah, sweet.
I haven't had a lot of time to do that though. So
how many hours are you in at the moment?
I don't know. Let me check.
Does it feel like 3 or less or more?
It might be 3. I'm not 100% sure how much time I've put in.
Have you like unlocked the the point where you can sort of do whatever you want? I guess is the way to put it.
I got to that point. That's actually where I'm at right now.
I think that's like the 3-hour point ish.
Okay.
Maybe more than that.
Because I felt like as I was playing it, I go, okay, it still feels like I've been playing this for a while, but it's almost like it's tutorial still.
Yeah.
You're learning to do things.
Yeah, maybe you are a little bit further back than I think, actually.
Well, no, I mean, I don't know where you think I am, so I can't.
Because like I feel like I'm maybe 2 or 3 hours ahead of you because I've done a few things. Like there's a point where you can sort of do some stuff, but really you're still kind of in a tutorial-ish, because you got to find this thing you're looking for. I'm not trying to spoil anything.
Yeah.
Anyway, keep going.
No, I'm going to keep playing. I plan on actually finishing that.
I got to finish it too. You playing on Game Pass, bro?
Yes, unfortunately.
What?
Until Xbox starts paying me, I am not going to sit for the service.
Hey, but you've been playing some games that you probably wouldn't have bought. You know what I mean? You gotta.
No, that's true.
Just saying. This is what I've been saying this whole time. It's like pretty cool. Just saying, it's cool.
At the same time, it kind of I don't know. I feel a little odd about it because it almost feels like another streaming service that I'm paying for. And then there's so many choices that sometimes there's too many to choose from, and then I just turn it off.
Yep.
Until you find one that you actually like. So that's what I've kind of done, and
right.
I've tried a bunch of games, and ultimately I was like, oh, okay, I'll play this. Like I was playing Prey for a while. I still haven't beaten that.
Yeah.
It didn't really grab me, Like I like it. So far it's good, but it hasn't made me actually want to finish it.
Yeah.
Which I feel like Deathloop at least has like. Not to say a gimmick, but in a way a gimmick. It's like a mechanic that's a little different.
Right.
But, that's just how I feel about it.
I feel exactly the same way, honestly.
I'm excited to start it. I'll start it at some point, but I think I might play Atomic Heart first. That's like the next first-person shootery game I'm looking forward to.
That's kind of in the future, isn't it?
February 20th, I think.
Next month, less than a month
from
now.
Like a month, Gage.
Yeah, I know.
Well,
I know.
Miguel.
Like in the meantime, I think I'm gonna play some other games and then get my first-person shooter fix on that one, and then we'll see how it goes.
Let's just not forget, Guaposoft is betting on Atomic Heart, so let's just all hope that game comes out and it's good. But even more so,
man, I hope it's all good. Anyway, even if it gives you points, I still just want it to be a good game.
Dude, that's what we all hope for every game that everyone drafted. If you want to know, what we're talking about, by the way, it's the combination X Interact / Neon Pocket Dimension Fantasy Critic Draft League, where me and Miguel are on a team and Gage and Steven from X Interact are on a team. So if you want to check that out, definitely do so, please. We'll have a link to it in the description below. But Dead Space Remake is coming this week, dude. This freaking Friday, I think. Right?
Yeah.
Friday, yeah.
So, question I have about that. I have no idea, and I don't know, maybe you know. A lot of times with EA Play, new games don't come out right away to the service. They come out later. So does that mean we probably don't get that day one on Game Pass, right?
Oh, no, definitely not.
Got it.
Yeah. That's probably not going to even hit EA Play for like a few months, maybe.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But like, if it does, that's cool. But I 100% will be buying this game.
Word.
So.
I'm gonna probably wait because I just replayed Dead Space like maybe a year ago, and so I mean I know this is gonna be a huge upgrade and all that stuff, but I'll probably wait till it comes to EA Play and then play it, which hopefully will be around October, and I'll be all ready for spooky time.
Hell yeah. Any other web new things, Miguel?
No, that was pretty much it. I think. To be honest with you.
Cool.
I can think of at least.
I wrote notes to keep myself reined in. You know what I mean?
Notes.
Even though we've been talking about a lot of things. Gundam update. Gotta do this weekly. Like I said before, I did basically finish the Universal Century. Not really gonna do Victory Gundam till like maybe find where I can stream it. So I've been jumping between Gundam 00, which is pretty good, on Hulu, because that they have the dubs. And I didn't realize it's 2 seasons, guys. It's 2 50-episode seasons of this fucking show. Oh, actually, no, wait. It's not 50 episodes. It's 25 per season.
Is that you being excited or not excited?
A little bit not excited because there's a lot to watch. But it's a good show. I just realized right now, though, that it's 50 because it includes the subs and dubs. So it's actually 25 2 seasons. So it's not so bad, actually.
Oh, that's not terrible.
Yeah, so I can knock that out pretty good. But that show's pretty good. But the new hotness for Gundam right now, the brand new show that's like I think it's still airing is the Gundam Witch from Mercury, which I've as kind of my main focus on it anime because there's no dubs and I have to watch it subbed. So I really have to, keep my eyes on the fucking TV the entire time.
Pay attention.
Fully 100% pay attention. And I finished the first episode and I'm telling you guys, this is a great series. Even if you're not into Gundam, I just jump right in and watch it. It's pretty cool. I'm digging it so far. And then also Gundam Wing, that's on Hulu, the dubs. That's an old ass show from the 90s. It's the first Gundam show I ever watched. That's kind of like my background Gundam show. You know what I mean? So I'm like kind of half watching that one. 00, I'm mostly watching while I cook dinner. You know what I mean? Maybe I just have it on in the background while I work, right? Witch from Mercury, watching that mainly. Gundam Wing, definitely like I'm cleaning and I have that on. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. Or maybe I'm even playing a game and it's just kind of on. I'm sort of half watching it because I've seen it.
I've only ever watched Gundam Wing, but I've seen all of it. So.
If I could recommend any Gundam show to just start watching the original series from 1979. You know what I mean? Just put it on. There's some weirdness there, but it's still, it's a good time. Cool. Amuro Ray is the man. Okay, so that's my Gundam update for this week. I want to quickly talk about an excellent fucking movie that Mochi Squeeze and I watched called The Menu. I think you talked about this to us.
The Menu was good.
Holy shit. But all of us have seen it now, right?
Yeah.
That might be one of my favorite movies that I've seen in a while. Honestly. That movie is fucking awesome. It gave me a sense of dread that didn't leave me for like days. Like that's how much it affected me. I don't know why. Like for the last
what side of the kitchen were you on?
I don't know, man. I mean, to be honest, I'm a fucking workhorse. It's who I am, dude. So I
would have been in the kitchen.
I would have definitely been in the kitchen.
100%.
Moji Squeeze, not to shit on her or anything, but pretty sure she would not be in the kitchen. She would be eating. But that's just her character. I'm not calling her pompous, but just saying, that's probably the side she'd be a part of if I were to give her a side. But damn, what a fucking great movie. Rocco of Mega 64 just said it wasn't the movie for him because he felt like people are being too sarcastic and snarky. And my response to him is, it's a satire, bro. Like, that's the point. Exactly. So I haven't heard anyone else saying anything bad about it. So get out there, watch The Menu if you can. Be ready for horror themes. Get ready for hardcore satire. And what an excellent film it is. I love it.
Anyone who's worked in a kitchen in front of the house or back of the house last year was eating pretty good at like seeing like representations of what it's like both with the bear and then with the menu. Like both of those did a really good job at showing you like how excruciating it can be to like work fine dining like with that, or
Yeah.
just working in a kitchen where you're just slammed, like, yeah, total.
Dude, I couldn't have said it better myself. So yeah, liked it. We started watching this movie on Hulu called House of Darkness, and let me tell you, steer clear away from that steaming pile of shit. It is a horrible movie. It's just fucking Justin Long talking to his wife for 2 hours, and then they kill him or something. I don't care if spoiling that movie. It's one of the worst. It's awful.
Justin Long's in it?
Yeah, Justin Long's in it. It's the worst Justin Long movie that exists.
Rest in peace, right?
Yeah. So, there you go. Don't watch it. Sucks. I wrote The Last of Us HBO rules so far. We already talked about that. I finished Chainsaw Man. Also. And holy shit, what a great fucking anime. And now I understand why everybody's like, instead of waiting for season 2, just buys the manga. So I might have to do that. It's so fucking good. If you can watch Chainsaw Man, immediately do it. It's great. It's just great. It subverts so much that we know that happens in shonen anime. It makes fun of shonen stuff. It's a really good time. And then the last
I gotta give it another shot because it was way too violent for Aishu. She was like, "This is over the top. I don't really want to watch it."
It's free. Well, okay, you're good. You can watch it. All right.
I will.
You watch it alone. All right. It is pretty violent. But I don't know. It's excellent. It's another dreadful show. So I think between the menu and that, I just had this like weird pit in my stomach, feeling like I'm in trouble or someone's gonna murder me, and it's just because of the vibe of both of those things back to back. But still really great. And then the very last thing I want to talk about is that 90s show is actually good.
Wow.
Really?
Yes.
I am shocked.
Mochi Squeeze put it on. I was a little baked, and I was laughing my ass off, bro. I did not expect to laugh that hard. Red still got it. Everyone pretty much makes an appearance except for that rapist asshole, the Masterson dude.
Yeah, get fucked.
So he get fucked. But I like how they kind of handle all of the cameos essentially. And past the I feel like the kids were a little awkward in that pilot. You know what I mean? Just kind of getting their footing, but like it really does seem like a group of teenagers. But they kind of they get the chemistry going between all of the actors and stuff after that first episode, and it's just, I don't know. I'm just loving it. Honestly, I can't sit here and say don't watch that 90 show. If you like that 70 show, pop it on, dude. You're actually gonna like it. Trust me. I'm
surprised. I was not expecting that.
Yeah, me neither. You might have swayed me.
Yeah, Pizza Man Sam says Red and Kitty are still funny as hell, and for that note, so is fucking the main Foreman. What's the main guy? Eric Foreman. He's funny too. He's in there. They're all good in there.
Topher Grace came back for it, huh? That's wild.
Oh, he did. Yeah, he's there like right at the beginning in that first episode. So just I don't want to really spoil it that much, but get in there, watch it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it. Why New done.
New done.
Now it's time for our sectors. Okay, what is a sector? I don't know. You know what I mean? Everybody can talk about whatever they want. It's pretty much what we just did with the New. You know what I mean? Just a little bit longer.
Same shit.
But you could talk about different things. That's what I set my stuff up for. So why don't we hit one of you guys first?
Gage, I'm not prepared.
Hey, that's me. All right. Well, I don't necessarily have a structure to my sector, but I did kind of just maybe I'll pose it with a question, and then back it up with some info. There's been a lot of stuff lately about kind of games as a services, and studios kind of being either forced to chase a trend of trying to make a game like more of an extended ecosystem, or just kind of like go outside of their single player wheelhouse to try and make like an ongoing economy based game type of thing. And I just feel like we're seeing in this couple of year period span, we're seeing the games industry just like totally figure out that like if this isn't your deal and you're not ready for us, like you're almost guaranteed to fail at this type of game. So I guess my question would be like, is there a single, and I asked a poll on our Twitter, I think it was last week. I think the poll was what was the best games as a service game by a single player studio, and my joke was like none of them really. And but is there,
right.
But like is Has there been like a single player studio or like a studio that's known for its single player, whether it's RPGs or just action games, that has done a games as a service that has been in your mind worth them taking the time to do that as opposed to their normal stuff?
I would say probably the most successful one is Destiny. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you think about
totally.
but I mean, I guess Halo wasn't really fully single player, right? A lot of Halo was multiplayer, but not a game as a service. You know what I mean? So I don't really know if that qualifies or not.
It's borderline, but I would say like they've instilled like a battle pass and like those types of things. And originally, I don't think it's the case anymore. But like originally, definitely there was supposed to be ongoing campaign DLC through their kind of quote unquote games as a service, right? So like it feels like maybe it's verging on that.
Right. Yeah, I mean, but if we're to like examine like everyone else, right? Bethesda famously makes single player games. Fallout 76 came out and was a massive flop. Like at this point it's a joke to talk about Fallout 76, even though that game has come so far. Like at this point, I still think I think the game is fun. It's cool.
Me too.
I don't gravitate toward games as service games. Like I even bought New World with my money, and I don't play it, but like it just didn't work, and it obviously didn't work because that's not like the heart isn't there. You know what I mean?
Totally.
It felt like a money grab.
Well, at the end of the day, I feel like especially from a studio like, say, Bethesda, I'd rather have you work on a single-player game.
Yeah.
And give me a good narrative. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to get that from a game like Fallout 76.
No.
Because the gimmick is it's always continuing, right? Like,
right.
If I wanted to play a quote-unquote MMO or even a co-op game like that, I'm not going to go for that one. I'd probably go for something else before I did that.
Well, especially right, like when that game first launched, there was no NPCs except for like terminals and robots and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then of course they spent like almost an entire year like building NPCs into the game because it was like this is such a lonely and weird experience by yourself.
Yeah.
And so it's like I just feel like there's constantly this thing of like we need a games as a service because it makes so much money and we can build an economy that'll keep people here and fund the rest of our big single player experiences. But then they they stick a toe in, but they don't go full on like, if you're gonna do it, you got to do it and like really commit to it. It's like,
right, and that's sort of the drawback of Avengers, right? Like a little bit, because the way that Avengers starts, it's a dope single player game. You know what I mean? It starts off as a really cool single player game about Kamala Khan. It made me like Kamala Khan, give a fuck about Miss Marvel, like as someone who hadn't read any comics of hers and stuff, and I'd always heard about Miss Marvel being popular, but then playing that game I was like, oh, I'm a fan instantly. And then it becomes a game as a service where you're just continuing this storyline, but it's like, well, now you have to group with random people on the internet, have fun, right? And it's just really jarring.
And it's like for me again with that game, like it wasn't even so much that the combat was bad. It was just that like you're fighting the same exact enemies no matter where you go.
Yep.
Like there's like literally 2 bosses in that game, like the Abomination and like a big robot, right? Like I don't even like later on there's like a one more, right?
Yeah. But don't get me started on like the unblockable enemies everywhere that are just like making it really irritating to play on its own anyway. You know what I mean? Yeah. And like it's being an Avenger is supposed to be fun, right? You're supposed to be like flying around as Iron Man or jumping around as the Hulk and shit. And like, instead I'm getting knocked down every 3 seconds by some unblockable asshole that I can't even see because I'm swarmed by a million enemies or something. You know what I mean?
And then you cut to a game like Insomniac Spider-Man, and you're like, this combat is amazing. It's like playing Tony Hawk mixed with like Batman Arkham mixed. It's like you're just like constantly. Everything feels so like Spider-Man. You know what I mean? Like
it's tight.
You can argue that there's some repetitive stuff in that game too, but like it's a video game. Like whatever.
Well, I mean, that's an open world
It
video
was
game.
repetitive,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Well,
Like most jobs.
well, I mean, a video game isn't a job, but there is a thing called a game loop. So of course you're supposed to do some things over and over again. But I mean, like a single player game like Spider-Man is, I mean, it's kind of a checklist game a little bit because it's an open world and you're like collecting things, or you're just kind of doing like the same sort of tasks here and there, besides the main missions, which are more fleshed out and interesting, right? But then like that's the thing, right? Because there are main missions that are fun to play because they are like part of a story, a narrative. But then you play the Avengers and it's like, okay, you're going to play one of these 3 maps and you're going to do the same shit over and over again. Like literally the same shit over and over again.
Over and over
you
again.
just hopefully have a friend to play with because then you can kind of like talk to him the whole time.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just
that makes the shittiness better because you're not alone.
No. Well, that's the thing is like, I mean, there's a lot of gamers like myself who like, I mean, I have a lot of friends. We could game and stuff, but like for the most part, whenever I'm ready to game, no one's around because people are on the East Coast and it's late, or you know what I mean? Like my friends are over 30 and they got to go to sleep, and you know, like I can't. I would like to play the Avengers, but I have to play it by myself or with random people, and I don't like to play with random people. And so that's sort of a big problem is like these games could be really good, but they're not intended to be played basically by me.
Yeah.
You know,
and
a lot of
like
other gamers.
A game like Anthem is so interesting because it's like that game was gorgeous. The movement was, I think, like maybe the best feeling BioWare movement has ever felt. Like I think it took a lot of what moving around in Mass Effect Andromeda was like, which I think is the best movement in any of the Mass Effect games, and like made traversal fun, and then just added the ability to fly, which was awesome. And it literally was the best Iron Man like physics and anything's ever felt. And there was like cool upgrades, and you could get different moves for your each one of your, I forget what they're called.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I didn't play that one.
Yeah, whatever. But and the world was cool and everything, but it was just that the mission structure was do the same thing over and over and over again, and it's just either like you get a legendary drop or whatever bullshit, and it was just a bad story. Like,
yeah,
if that game had just been a single player experience with the same exact movement and even the same exact mission structure, where you talk to someone in this first person mode in the hub world where it's super cool, and then you go out into the big world and do your mission, that would have been fine. But it's just it's just like the repetitive nature of all the missions because they have to be playable with these people over and over again. It's just annoying.
I feel like sometimes they make multiplayer, obviously because they're trying to make money, but it's like I don't necessarily need to always game with someone.
Yeah.
I'm still big on one-player games personally. That's the majority of the games that I play. So I'd rather have a studio like that do a game that's actually gonna make me purchase it.
Right. Something
I care about.
Yeah.
I remember when I saw the trailer for Anthem, oh, it's multiplayer? No, I'm good.
Yeah,
it's like, BioWare. It's BioWare, guys. BioWare was all about fucking dialogue choices, like narratives, like you make a choice, it changes the world, it like makes a big difference, right? Like Mass Effect, guys. Fucking Mass Effect. Play Mass Effect. Just go out to like Legendary Editions on Game Pass. If you want to know what we're talking about and you've never played Mass Effect, play Mass Effect. You'll understand what we're talking about.
And I understand Andromeda got a lot of shit when it first came out, but it's a solid fucking game.
The facial animations were hilarious, to be sure.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it had a lot of issues, but it when I played it, it didn't because it was all patched.
Me too. I played that game like probably a year and a half later, and honestly, it ran flawlessly. It looked pretty good. Like, definitely better. It looked better than the old games.
It gets fucking shit on all the time, and I thought it was fucking great. The story is the greatest story? No. But overall, I had a really good time playing it, and I'd play another one if they did another one.
Yeah, and I still thought that like all your crew missions and stuff in that game were still totally worthwhile. I think the main story kind of falls apart in the third act, but but I love all the, like, what do they call them? But your crew missions, companions, yeah. And like the one to like you have to get your relationship with them at a certain good level to like do their final mission, and like that all was super cool. And Anyways, but the thing that sucks about these games as a services, right, is like now because BioWare did that, Dragon Age has been so delayed or like so slow in development, and then the next Max Effect game is probably like 7 years out. You know what I mean? And like same thing with Bethesda. I know that that Bethesda Austin did a lot of the development on there, but Todd Howard was still executive producing. His team was still like doing stuff on it, and that pushes out Starfield, pushes out Elder Scrolls. You know, like it just feels like it's such a misstep. And now with Avengers, and Ubisoft is another one where like we're probably just gonna get a bunch of bullshit Ubisoft games as a service, whatever. You know, it's like.
Yeah, but you know, I do have to call it out. Pizza Man Sam in chat did say, well, what about fucking GTA Online? You know, he did say Red Dead Redemption or whatever, Red Dead Redemption Online, which I don't think is successful at all. That's why they stopped developing it, basically, for the most part. But GTA Online is probably the most successful game as a service right now. Like, I'd have to say. Besides Destiny. Destiny is, I don't know what it is, man, but people are fucking obsessed with that Destiny game, and I just don't get it. I'm not into it. I don't know why I don't like it. I don't feel compelled to play it, but everyone loves Destiny. And damn, whatever it is they're doing it right. Even when people complain about currencies and grinds, they still go back. They still rave about it. You know what I mean? Like, there are companies that are doing this stuff right, but for every one of those, there's 10 more fucking whatever free-to-play battle royale games that people are like, they'll play for one session and they'll never touch again. Or even a big, huge game like The Avengers by Crystal Dynamics that costs money to buy before you can even play originally, that's just a complete flop. You know what I mean?
Yep. Anyway, so that I guess my point is just kind of like it feels like no one's asking for these experiences from these studios, and then it secondarily feels like if you're gonna like have a studio dedicate years of development time towards making games as a service, like come with a game plan from day one.
Yeah.
Have your entire content map like finished before day one, which I know is pretty much impossible, and then do seasonal updates and yearly updates and whatever, but it just feels like I'm ready for it to be over with, or at least stop making my favorite first person or single player game studios do them.
Stop trying to take licenses and turn them into games as a service. Yep. People who want to play licensed things want a single player experience. Look no further than Jedi fucking whatever. What's that one? Fallen Order. Jedi Fallen Order is a great example of what we want from a licensed game. And also, if you're going to make a Battlefront 3, don't fucking fill it with a bunch of money bullshit, all right? Just let me climb into an AT-AT that I can see right there, okay? I don't need cards. I don't need fucking pay to win. Jacob. What?
That's lost revenue.
No, fuck you, EA. I'll pay you $70
off every transaction.
I'll pay you $70 for the game, and I'll buy a battle pass. But like, just don't make the game itself a fucking scam. That's it. End of story.
For me, the thing is like I've spent a pretty decent amount of money on Fortnite because like that game ultimately is a fun game first. It's a fun social space second. And then, like the stuff they put into that game is purely cosmetic, but really fun. And and it's also relatively reasonably priced because you can earn V-Bucks by playing, which is you're never gonna probably have enough V-Bucks by playing to buy all your stuff. But you could, Anyways, I'm just saying,
dude, I bought the Dragon Ball shit, and I never buy skins. I never buy skins. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you want a game as a service, make it free. If you don't want if you want to just to make money off software, then just put out a game that costs money, and then maybe we'll spend money for DLC or something. You know what I mean? Don't make everything predatory.
Hell, you could make and I don't necessarily want this future, but you could make Jedi Fallen Order, right? And if you wanted to, you could make some sort of like non-essential currency where if I wanted to like play as, Darth Maul or something instead, like you can make me buy Darth Maul. Like I don't know, it's like totally non-essential to the game. You know what I mean? Like, but like something like that. You know what I mean? Like the old Tony Hawk skins.
Lego Star Wars Saga, I feel like did a kind of cool thing, right? Where it's like there's all this DLC for it, and it's just like more Lego characters. You know what I mean? Like stuff like from some of the newer movies, some of the spin-offs that you can just get a pack. Oh, you want to get the fucking Han Solo movie pack? Boom, you got all the Han Solo characters from that movie. You want to get the Rogue One pack? Boom, you got all the Rogue One characters, right?
Cool.
None of it isn't fully necessary. And they've already give you a bunch of shit in the game that you just can earn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's the way that you do it. Or you make it free to play, and I'll buy a battle pass. I'll buy some skins. You're still going to make a shit ton of money. People like Snowbike Mike will buy fucking everything that comes out. You know what I mean? You always have your whale.
You'll get your whales that'll pay your bills for you for sure. It's like...
But don't be coming out here with like Spider-Man only exclusive for like one console, and then Iron Man, but like we need to buy battle passes and we can't even experience a fun story, and it's fucking Avengers is such a fucking train wreck. I'm sorry, dude.
Seriously.
God damn.
Anyway, that's my sector. Thanks for talking about it, guys. It's interesting. It's an interesting thing.
It's a great topic. Closing thoughts, Miguel?
I'm good. I don't really play those games, so
unaffected. Except
the
for
only way it affects me at the end of the day is when the games that I want to come out don't come out because they're working on that shit.
Exactly. Yeah.
See, that's a great take. That's why I asked you. Okay, let's get into my little sector. And I kind of want to do something that I don't ever do, and that's talk about PlayStation.
Hey.
What? I'm an Xbox PC guy. What is this? I'm talking about PlayStation. So yeah, I just kind of want to talk about some games I've been playing lately. First and foremost, PS5 is a cool console. Let me just get that out of the way. It's a little tall. It's a little weird, kind of unwieldy looking, but it fits. It fits underneath our TV. You know what I mean? It works. Battery life on the controller is a little questionable, but when you have two, it's fine. You keep one fully charged, do the old swap-a-roo. So fix that right away. I did write notes about Valheim, so I've been playing that. That's not on the PlayStation 5, so let's not talk about Valheim. But that's a fun game. You want to play Valheim with Jacob? Let me know. I'll play. But on the PlayStation 5, right, I'm so new to the fucking PlayStation ecosystem that, like, any PlayStation game is new to me, which is fun, right? But I just kind of wanted to quickly just talk about some of the things I've been doing on there. So, Demon Souls, been playing that. I'm fully stuck.
No.
Full on stuck. I'm at the point where every time I play, I get mad and I have to switch to the next game because I'm just fully stuck. Might need to look up a guide. Have you played Demon Souls, Gage?
I haven't. Is it because you're going strength build and because those are so under? Yeah.
It's because strength build in this game is pretty underrepresented, I think. Probably should have won a different build. Didn't realize there's all these options, but for strength, there's really like only one. And I have to grind a bunch by killing only these like 6 particular monsters to get like really rare drops. So that's boring. And then when I go to try to attempt to beat like the area that's next on the list of things to do, I just die. So if you want to watch me die a lot and get mad, go ahead, check out twitch.tv/ohmjesus. I got some videos on there. I've been doing a lot of streaming on there, a lot of chill play streams, which is just me sitting on the couch. That brings me to my next point. PS5 has made it pretty easy to stream. So Xbox has a thing now where you press the share button and you can get, or I don't think you do the share button, but like there's like a streaming option where you can just straight up like through the console to, stream to Twitch or whatever, right? But, you got to put a headset on and all that. You can actually connect any webcam to it as well, which is kind of cool. I don't think that PlayStation does that. Yeah, to your Xbox. So if you have an existing webcam, you just plug it right in and it'll pick it right up, and then you're set up. I don't plug webcams into my consoles typically, but what PS5 is doing, which I like, is that I can just tap the share button on the DualSense, it'll bring up a share deck, and then I could just go to the stream thing after you've already set up your Twitch, and I could just stream right there, easy peasy. And not to mention the controller itself has a microphone built in, right? And I thought it was like the Nintendo DS where you like blow into it to like move the a guy on a boat or something, like in Astrobot, which by the way is a really cool game that comes baked into your PS5. I recommend you definitely play that, and I want to get the platinum. But no, it's straight up a mic. So I can just basically I could just sit on my couch, super lazy, have my dog on top of my neck because she likes to crawl on top of me all weird. And then I could just stream with my controller in my hand, and people can hear what I say.
Amazing.
It's pretty fucking pretty relaxing and very lazy, and I love it. So I've been doing a lot of those streams on the PS5.
That's cool, man.
I definitely want to rave about it a little because I don't know how great the mic is, but when people pop in and they chat with me, which is another cool thing about the PS5 because you see the chat on the screen, any chat message sent just straight up shows like on the corner of the full-on screen that you're playing on. I could just talk right into my controller and go like, hey, what's up? What's up, Nightlife? Or what's up, Pizza Man Sam? Or whoever, So I've been really enjoying doing that, super lazy streams. And then I just want to talk a little bit about PS Plus Extra, which is like almost like their Game Pass tier. To someone like me who hasn't really played a lot of PlayStation games, it's awesome. Like there's a ton of games in there. Like if you miss out on a ton of games from the PlayStation 4 and even from the PS5 or even like the upgrade, the PS5 version, they're all on there. It's fucking tight. I beat Minute. You ever heard of Minute?
I like Minute. It's a good game.
It's on PS Plus Extra.
Yeah.
I think it was on Game Pass at one point. It's on there now. One night when Mocha Squeeze was like having this we were just kind of up and she was doing something and I was just kind of like, oh, I'll just throw this game on while we were hanging out. I played through the whole fucking game.
There you go.
It was awesome. It only took like maybe 3 hours. They have Trials of Mana on there, which, I like. You were talking about Secret of Mana earlier. That's one of I love that game. Legend of Mana, I just bought on Steam. Trials of Mana is a remake of Suikoden Densetsu 3, which is the third game in the series, but the second Secret of Mana game on the Super Nintendo, which never came out in America. And now it's out in America called Trials of Mana as like a 3D remake.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah. I played it. It's kind of cool. You know what I mean? Not sure if I'm going to beat it. I said, as it appeals to my mana heart as a fan of the series, but it's not that great of a game. But it's cool. It's on there. They got Medieval, which is a PlayStation.
The remake?
Yeah, the remake. It's originally, I think, a PS1 game. Okay.
I would say start back off on PS Plus talk. And I would ask the question of, if you don't get PS Plus Extra, but just the first PS Plus, whatever the first tier is, do you still get that PS Plus collection that they made when they first dropped it?
PS Plus collection.
You know, when the PS5 first came out, they had this thing called the PS Plus collection, where if you were a PS Plus person, this is before they rejiggered the whole tier system.
No,
you just got a grip of all these games. Like Arkham was on there.
Yeah.
Spider-Man PS4 was on there. A bunch of like PS4 games were on there.
I'm not certain, but I do know that it's baked into the PS Plus Extra tier, because that has like a ton of games on there, as well as the PS5 upgrades. And we are back. If you're watching this later, you saw kind of a hard edit right there. It's because, I don't know, I became a robot or some shit.
You did become a robot.
A Planet Kirby Robobot, yeah.
Something bad happened, but it's now fixed, and I had to pee. So, what I'm trying to say is that as someone who loves Game Pass, I have to say PS Plus Extra, pretty good. Pretty good. A lot of games on there. I've been playing a ton of them, and it's not just like the new ones. It's not just the PS4 ones that were good from last generation. It is like some old stuff, like Kingdom Hearts. You know what I mean? It's old stuff like fucking, or indie stuff like Minute, like Chicory, like The Messenger, which is like a cool, almost like Ninja Gaiden game, but it goes between 8-bit and 16-bit, or Minute. It's also cool indies like Stray. It's have you played Horizon? Well, it's on there. I think.
Nice.
Demon Souls, a game that I wanted to buy, is on there, and that's a PS5.
That's on there, huh?
Yeah, it's a PS5 exclusive game. And I'm just really glad I'm able to, much like Game Pass, jump onto a console without spending like $140 for 2 games or something. Spend the $15 and I have access to all these games that I just missed out on. And I'm loving it. Everyone's always talked about these games being great, and I knew they were. I just didn't have the capability of playing them. But every time that I jump in and play them, like The Last of Us, when I played the first game, the remaster for the PS4, I was blown away. Made me have to, I had to buy the second one. And that game, both of those games are just so great. So I guess what I'm just saying is like PS5, cool console. PS Plus,
hell yeah,
pretty cool.
Now, PS Plus, which tier are you? Because there's 3 tiers, right?
I'm in the middle tier, so I didn't go for like tier. because I forget what the last tier is called. I can look it up, but
it's so bad. They really need to get their nomenclature better.
That tier sucks. Let's just be honest. I mean,
it's old games, but there's not a lot of old games on there. It feels like.
I think it's PS Plus Premium. It's really only it would only cost me $3 more a month, and I would get access to all these really older games and stuff. But like, it's not really necessary. Maybe later if I run out of games to play. But I just honestly just want to talk about how much I'm loving my PS5. God of War Ragnarok is a great game too. I can see why people are saying it's okay. It might be kind of long, but like I'm reveling in it. I'm like having a great time going into my flow state, solving puzzles, fighting people. I'm dying a bit, but I'm on hard mode. But then when like I'll die on a fight and then I'll come back and then something unlocks in my brain where I'm just like swapping between weapons and like abilities like some sort of beast, and it feels real good. It's a really fun game. But I just, these days it's just really cool to see that like we're in a gaming phase right now where like games are accessible. And by accessible I mean like you can play them. The barrier of entry is like way lower. Like if you think about games from the past, that you have to pick the game. You pick the one game you want. It costs you between $50 and $70 unless you're buying a small indie on Steam or something. And even then it's like half the price, so you're getting maybe 2 at that point. But like you get the game, and if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't, and you're just kind of fucked. Like let's say you bought Anthem. We just talked about that. That's the game you bought. That's the game you can afford this month or this 2 months or whatever, right? But if that game sucks, then where are you at? You're like, well, what am I gonna do? Keep playing Anthem? I'm gonna go play some old game. Nowadays, at least we're in a day and age where like you at least have the ability to, you could buy that big game, but then for like that extra $15 a month, you can play all sorts of games. You want to check out Death Stranding, fire it up. You want to fuck around in High on Life, even though Justin Roiland just got completely disconnected from Rick and Morty today.
Really?
An official Adult Swim tweet said that Justin Roiland is off the project, but season 7 is still coming.
Wow.
Yeah, you can totally play High on Life. You could play Scorn. Man. You could play a bunch of smaller experiences. Like I said, I just sat down and beat Minute in like 3 hours one night, because that wasn't on Game Pass. It was on PS Plus, and I fucking loved it. You know what I mean? And the same goes with all these games. And it's great to have both consoles, but I don't know. I just want to celebrate the fact that like we have access to all these games now for like for a good price. And it's just pretty glorious, like as a gamer. But I have to reiterate what Miguel said earlier, which is like, man, the paralyzing thought of like, fuck, what game am I gonna play? That's real. When you have access to too much.
I would also say, how is this affecting the developers though long term? Because I would almost equate it to the music industry, right?
Mm-hmm.
where your musician's not really making much money off of streams. Yeah, sure, it's great for the consumer.
Right.
But at the end of the day, a musician's making all their money off of, touring at this point.
Well,
I don't know if that necessarily is going to affect game studios long term or not.
So with these subscription services, the thing to keep in mind, the difference between like an artist getting paid per stream of one song or whatever versus an entire studio being on a Game Pass or a PS Plus is very different, because you're getting pennies per stream, but like essentially think of like rentals, right? Like how rentals used to kind of run. Like the studios are getting paid by the person putting it out on their service as if they had bought like X amount of games, right? So like that could compensate for your game not being bought by a bunch of people, because Microsoft is basically buying all those copies worth of money, right?
Like I think in the case of High on Life, like that game was pretty much funded by the fact that it was going to be a Game Pass day one. Like I know Justin Roiland was in an interview that I listened to a while back that was like they pretty much had their development funding because they made a deal to put it on Game Pass day one. And so then like when the game gets bought on other platforms, that's just all
even more money.
That's just income at this point.
Yeah. So it's not. I mean, it's not so much.
They're breaking even, and that's if you're getting the deal, right? Like,
yeah,
if you're getting like, because I mean, like, what does a smaller indie studio do at that point?
Especially well, I mean, you think about how much it's worth, right?
No, true. But like a smaller game that could make or break the studio at that point.
Yeah, I mean, I think the idea or the hope is that by putting it on those services have a good enough like curation system where it's like putting it like back in the day, like putting it on the Apple Store, the front of the page of the Apple Store, like or whatever.
Yeah, and you get more people to download it or whatever.
Yeah, it like is also publicity type of thing, I guess, is the vibe.
But I also don't think that they're getting paid per download. I think they're just getting paid. They're eventually
they're a lump sum of cash.
Yeah, it's just an advance essentially on like copies people probably wouldn't buy in the first place, right? But then like people play your game and then they're buying it at a reduced price because they're like, oh, I like this game so much, I'm just gonna buy it. For like 30% off.
I guess the question is, how many games have you actually purchased that way?
None. Yeah. At the moment. However,
that's my point.
However, if I would have bought, let's say, the Outer Wilds, which is one of my favorite games, which I will end up buying one day because I want the DLC. My Game Pass membership essentially paid them what I would have paid them to buy the game out the box anyway. And on top of, let's say, the 100,000 other, like it's almost as if 100,000 people bought their game before, like, the day it came out. But really, it was Game Pass just giving them all that, like, that same amount of money, right?
Yeah. No, I understand that.
But, like, on top of that, people can buy the game at a discount. So, like, I see it as a massive positive.
And Xbox has already said that, like, I think only, like, 15% of like game sales or like game downloads typically come from Game Pass. Like people still like to it seems like people still like to just buy their games piecemeal also. So
no,
and I think that it hasn't caught on to the point where I think I feel like once you start getting, say, I guess the question is, are they just getting paid the lump sum, or are they also getting paid per the amount of people playing it? Because at some point you will get to a point where people are paying for the service
right
more than they're actually buying the games.
Yeah.
Right.
I think
so. If you're just getting paid the one time, are you really making money?
Yeah, totally.
Well, you might.
I think there are. I know.
I almost feel like it's Wild West days of like Netflix.
Sure.
You're right. It is.
I know in the case of Xbox that like they. Like each individual deal to get like at least with third-party games on there is just worked out like between the two studios. Like I don't think there's a blanket one size fits all type of thing.
Yeah.
So there might be games that they're like we're gonna get you on here, but the company's like, all right, then we want like if we hit a certain number of players, we want this extra money.
Because I mean, personally, that's the only way I feel like you're gonna make any money. Like, don't get me wrong, I think the infusion of cash is good, but like you said, how many games have you purchased?
Well,
if I can pay for the service and beat the game,
yeah,
I'm not going to go out and buy it.
I'm going to put it this way, okay? If Crusader Kings 3 ever comes off of Game Pass, I'm buying it immediatly.
Mm-hmm.
I bought what will you do if you do not buy it immediately?
No, there's no other choice. It's an if and then statement.
That's what you say now.
No, I'm telling you right now. If Crusader Kings 3 is going to come off Game Pass, I will purchase it immediately. That's it.
Gee.
I'll believe it when I see it, Jacob.
I'll tell you when it happens. If it happens. If it comes off of Game Pass, that is.
Yeah. I bought Spirit Fair when it came off of Game Pass because I wasn't done with it, and I finished that game because of it.
That's the only reason I could see maybe buying a game is that if I was like in the middle of it and I didn't finish it.
If Yakuza Like a Dragon is going to come off that and I haven't finished it, I will also buy that because I'm too deep in. And also the data, at least provided by Microsoft, is that people do buy these games because of these reasons we're discussing right now. Yeah. So, I don't know. And PS Plus as well. Same thing. That's what I'm trying to say. It's good.
For you would be, if you could only have one, which would it be?
Okay, well, now that I have both consoles, that's impossible to answer.
Well, all I'm saying is if you could only have one, which would it be? It's a hypothetical question.
Game Pass, we know that.
Has to be Game Pass, probably.
Yeah, exactly.
I hate you. I hate you.
Well, though, I mean, I could understand if you said the other thing because you're so new to the PlayStation ecosystem. So you're like,
that's why it's
let me just have this for now, But
that's where I'm at right now.
Through and through, you're still simping pretty hard.
Dude, right now I'm simping PS5 so hard. It's like all I'm playing. I'm trying not to only play PS5, but I'm stuck. It's so good. It's such a great.
Well, I mean, that's what happened to me when last generation I didn't get a PS4 until like the later years of PS4, and then I was just eating pretty for so long,
That's where I'm at, and it's great. I'm loving it. Miguel, you have any sector things to talk about here?
Not really, to be 100% honest with you. I'm terrible, I know.
Let's talk about your cat.
You want to talk about the asshole behind me?
Yeah, let's talk about him.
He's up there. That's him.
He's cute.
What do you want to know?
I don't know. What does he like to eat?
If you ever meet him, don't pet him when he's on his side because he turns. Apparently, you're not allowed to. He bit me on the first day.
Oh no.
I went for the tummy, but I guess we're still getting to know each other. So that's one of those things. You don't really go there. I think eventually he'll be okay with it, but he's been good for the most part. He acclimated fairly quickly. We threatened him by saying we're going to take him back.
Nice.
That's kind of messed up, but he doesn't know what you're saying.
It is messed up, but it needs to be done.
I don't think he knows English. I'm sorry, Gage.
No, I was just saying, they can't stay in your house totally rent free. They at least need to have the fear of, rejection.
Yeah, they got to let me pet him on the stomach.
One or the other.
Hey man, that's all I ask for. Hey, he's technically not even mine, so.
What does he like to eat?
He's on Fancy Feast right now, I believe.
Ooh.
But, he's fat.
That's the wet stuff.
Some weight. He has a vet appointment on the 4th, and we're gonna see what we can do about getting him to lose a little weight because he's a chonker.
Yeah.
Chonker.
And he's a big old chonker, that one.
Nice.
And I will say, if you are in the cat, I know Gage is. Please adopt. I'm sure there are rescues in your area. And if you're in Las Vegas, you can go to Rescued Treasures Cat Cafe. Nice. Volunteer there. That's actually where Jake is from.
Oh.
But there are a lot of organizations in town who also do what they do. And, don't shop, adopt.
Nice.
Ultimately.
Hell yeah.
Good message.
Cats are cool.
Cats are extremely cool.
I didn't mention this earlier, but I played Stray one night, and then the cat freaked the fuck out, just like everybody said.
Nice.
Really?
Yeah, Lilu, my cat, ended up smacking the TV once, and then we were like, oh, no. We had to...
Don't be doing
Stop
that.
Stop it.
Oh, okay.
We had to turn the game off.
I'm curious.
It's really funny. I'll show you one day when we'll put it on, and we'll have you
Polly
play it.
Pocket's asking if I told you guys about the Mexicanos.
What's the Mexicanos?
So, I did not tell you about the Mexicanos.
Yeah. No.
There are 2 kittens at Rescue Treasures currently that are from Mexico.
Whoa.
They're 2 brothers. They just showed up. What was it? 2 weeks ago, maybe, or a week ago. Some white lady from Cabo brought them out.
Oh.
And apparently she works with Baja Humane Society, I believe it was. And their mother was taken to Calgary.
Oh.
So that cat's being adopted out in Canada. And then there's 2. There's a black. One of them is black, and the other one is white and orange. But they were like really malnourished when they were kittens.
Oh.
So they're 7 months, and they look like they're like maybe 2 or 3.
Oh.
But they're really sweet.
Cute.
So
Poco
definitely, if you're interested in 2 cats, I think they're really cool. I would have taken them had we not gotten the dingus behind us.
Dos gatos mexicanos.
Yes,
Los gatos mexicanos un poco enfermo.
Oh.
Oh, not anymore. They're good.
Okay.
Okay.
Never mind.
They're fine.
Now they're chonkers again. Just like this guy.
No, they're not chonkers. They're still really sweet.
Cool. Well, maybe we should go check out that cat cafe. That'd be fun.
You should.
Yeah, let's all go.
Someone. The resident cat's really nice. His name's David.
David the cat.
David. Yep.
So you got a David, you got a Jake, got a bunch of human names for these
A
cats.
bunch of human name cats.
Yeah, a bunch of human named cats.
Slightly unnerving for me.
Except for the Mexicanos. They were named Chicken Nugget and Chocolate Nugget.
Wow. Chicken Nugget is a great name for a cat.
I didn't name them.
Chocolate Nugget?
Chocolate Nugget.
Does that mean the cat's name is Poop, basically?
Well, if you want to look at it that way, yeah, I guess it is.
Chocolate Nugget.
Your little chocolate nugget, but yeah.
Awesome.
Excellent.
Excelente. We both did that.
Yes, we did.
Nice. Okay. Let's hear your endorsements.
Oh, yay.
Oh, wait. I have one last segment. I forgot.
Okay,
I had a funny little segment planned. I know we're ending here, but very quickly, this segment is called, let me type it out. Oh, shit. This segment is called Anime Noises.
Bow, 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 bow.
Oh, this one's easy.
You just got to make noises that anime characters make, like... Wait, no, that's hentai.
Wow.
That's hentai.
That's anime, dude.
It's true.
Iku. No, that means I'm coming. Let's move on. Anime noises. Do you know you guys know what anime noises actually are?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's like weird breaths and stuff they always take. So I just want us to make.
There's the one where like they get the little tear thing on their brow, and it's like. Burp. That one's always a little weird.
So you're thinking anime side effects or sound effects? I'm thinking like the sound. Like for some reason, there's a lot of gasping that happens in anime, right? Or like,
Sure. Yeah,
like
yeah.
that, or like, yeah, like that. That's good. That's good. Miguel,
like
let's hear your anime noise.
I don't know what you're talking about, to be honest.
You don't know about that?
No.
Like one of those?
No.
Like that. I get a lot of those. Or like just even like think about when you do like the Link up B and Smash, just like that kind of thing.
Yeah! Oh no, that's like Dragon Ball Z noises. Can you make a Dragon Ball Z noise?
Yeah, it's just like a Wilhelm scream at that point.
Like that? That's a good
definitely
one.
That.
Yeah, so just make a gap.
A lot of good grunts.
Do your best grunt or gasp, and then we'll get into endorsements. So go ahead. Start with Miguel. That's good. That's you did the same noise twice. That's pretty impressive. Gage? Okay, that's just words. And maybe possibly
that doesn't count. That's not a noise. What the fuck?
Okay. I think that's enough anime noises, right?
What about you?
Foo.
There you go.
Foo. That's a good one,
Is that
right?
is that when Naruto wants noodles?
No, he says "date bayo."
Oh yeah, date bayo. Yeah, right.
Says that a lot, which means believe it. So in the American version, he says believe it a lot, but really in Japanese, he says "date bayo" a lot.
Yeah, I remember.
But really, I'm more of thinking like the.
Yeah. Like that. I like that one too.
Those are anime noises. All right, that's
it's like kind of a question mark. It's like,
hey, the noises I made before this segment started.
Yeah,
those worked. Those were
anime noises.
Those are some anime noises. All right, that'll do it for the anime noises segment. Thank you everybody for participating.
Thanks for that, everyone.
That was a good time. And by the way, go to the subreddit r/anime noises for more research.
Wow, okay.
Thank you very much.
I'll have to check that out.
Please check it out, Miguel. You will not be disappointed. And maybe we'll do a part 2 anime noises in the future after you have done your research. What's your endorsement? Let's go. Let's get out of here. Come
on. I'm going to endorse Truly.
Hey.
It's sitting right in front of me.
Great.
We have endorsed so much booze on here.
I mean, it's always something right in front of you, man. You know? It's got to be. Pacifico is a good beer. True.
Yeah, it is a good beer. I like Pacifico.
It's very good. Faves. I like that one.
Yeah, Truly. Way to go.
What about you, Gage?
I'm going to endorse it's a podcast. I know that's kind of technically competition, so maybe I shouldn't, but it's a very different podcast. I'm going to endorse Dan Carlin's Hardcore History. Again, and again. A new one just came out recently, Twilight of the Aesir. It's all about Vikings. Ooh. They only come out about once every 6 months because they're usually like 6 to 8 hours long. But they're really good long form history podcast, and his voice is very interesting to listen to again and again. That's my Dan Carlin impression.
Nice.
But yeah, he's a great orator, and I really like the stories he covers. He just is all about covering the most extreme conditions that humanity has been through, kind of thing. And so there's really good stuff. There's one on World War I that's amazing. One on the Achaemenid Persian Empire back in the day that's really epic.
Nice.
Yeah, and they're really good. They're really good to fall asleep to because he's got very dulcet tones. And just a generally good podcast. Hardcore History, Dan Carlin's Hardcore History.
Yeah, I'm gonna check that out, man. Thanks. I love podcasts. Have I?
On the models?
You haven't heard of that, Jacob? To be 100% honest with you.
Well, I do know about Time Suck. That's a pretty good podcast. If you never heard of it, it's kind of the same sort of idea. It's a comedian. Well, I don't know if Dan Carlin's a comedian, but it's a comedian doing history topics that people pick on Patreon or whatever. And he's done a bunch of stuff. But
cool.
I don't know. Have I endorsed Hello from the Magic Tavern on this before? I feel like we've talked about it.
I believe you have.
We've talked about it a lot. And maybe one of our first endorsements ever, maybe.
I think so too. Great podcast. But you know what I've been vibing out to lately is this podcast also from Last Podcast Network, Fraudsters. Really cool podcast about fraudsters. In their latest season, they've been talking a lot about fake abortion centers.
Whoa.
They did a whole series on the diamond industry. That was really interesting. Stuff like that. Just they cover a lot of scams and scam artists and people who are being fraudulent. And I've really been enjoying that podcast. So check them out.
Sounds good.
If I'm to endorse a podcast, but also just want to say the Far Side's cool. I listened to another.
That is cool.
I
agreed.
I was listening to another podcast today, Wizard and the Bruiser, another Last Podcast Network podcast because I like them, and they did an episode on the Far Side, and that's a comic strip I haven't read much, but went down a rabbit hole today, reading a whole bunch of Far Side comics, and I was like, yeah, that's pretty tight. Check out the Far Side.
Also, the band The Far Side is pretty good.
Oh, never heard of them.
Are you serious? The hip hop band?
Oh yeah, no, the Far Side with the PH. The PH Far Side.
That song.
I'm sorry.
She keeps on passing me by. That one.
No, you're right. You're right. The Far Side is dope. I don't know why I thought the Far Side with an F, like it's a hip hop group.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's the Far Side with the PH.
Yeah.
So there's that.
So we're gonna say endorsements are Hardcore History and the Far Side, or you're endorsing Fraudsters?
Just say the two Fs: Fraudsters and Far Side.
Okay.
And that'll be it for today, guys. Any parting words for the people? Thanks for hanging out, as always. Oh, I want to do a thing called plugs, where we plug things. You know what I mean? Like normal people. It's the thing that we haven't been doing ever. But I don't feel like we have a lot of plugs to plug. So, but I just want to shill myself. Twitch.tv/OMJesus. Watch me stream lazily on my couch with the PS5 controller as my microphone. Thank you very much. What about you guys? You got anything?
Check us, engage with us on Twitter, at NPD Squad, because, we've been trying to get on there and just just be a little more active on our Twitter, try and get some people engaged. So I'd love to talk to the fine folks on there. And then also we're on Instagram, just Neon Pocket Dimension. Search that and we'll come up for you. I try to do like a piece of artwork, or I'm gonna try and do like a piece of artwork, a simple one, but a piece of like some sort of artwork for every episode this year. So well, I kind of did it before, but this is like I'm gonna make it a little bit more formal. So yeah, I did one last week that I was stoked on. It was a cool samurai for JRPGs. And just check it out. They'll be on Instagram.
I'd say check out YouTube.
Yeah.
At Odd Valley Pod, right? Or is it Odd Valley?
At Odd Valley Studios.
At Odd Valley Studios. And, make sure you do that. Like, subscribe.
Yes. Comment. Hit
that bell.
Hit that fucking bell. Bro. Shit.
Right.
And also let us know what you've been playing. Are you looking forward to Dead Space?
What you been wipe doing?
Yeah, what you been nerding out? Why
wipe new?
And the shirt's coming. All right, we're gonna end this.
That's true.
Let's. Okay, here's the last thing we're gonna do. Just ping ponging between the two of you guys. Say a sentence, one word at a time, to lead us out. Starting with Miguel.
Think of.
I think you said thank.
Think.
Oh. Am I next?
Then I said of, and then who's next? Yeah.
No, it's just the two of you.
Oh, it's just the two of us?
Yeah, just the two of you.
So think of pants
that
are
sometimes
on
people's
heads.
Yep, there it is. That's the sentence.
Okay, goodbye.
Bye, everybody.
That was good.
That was an excellent sentence.
All right, well, good times, guys. I stopped the stream.